Violence. Whitney Houston is dead at age 48 tonight. And of course, we've been following the tragic death of the singer. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Susie Sapp. The pop icon died this afternoon at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. That's where KCAL's Bigat Shaban is live with this breaking news. Bigat, what can you tell us?
Well, Susie, right now on the eve of what's usually the biggest night in music, one of its biggest voices, Whitney Houston, is now gone. She was declared dead here at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, where she was supposed to attend a pre-Grammy party tonight. Whitney Houston was America's sweetheart, rising to pop stardom in the 1980s and inspiring a generation of younger singers. Her life came to an abrupt end here at the Beverly Hilton. She was pronounced dead in her room on the 4th floor.
We have no obvious signs of anything at this time. We're still too fresh and it's currently being investigated. Our detectives are upstairs right now.
Houston was scheduled to appear at a pre-Grammy party here at the hotel. It's hosted by Clyde Davis, the music producer who discovered her. The daughter of gospel singer Sissy Houston, Whitney first started singing in church, later doing backup vocals for artists like Chaka Khan and Jermaine Jackson. Her 1985 self-titled debut album was a hit factory and sold millions. The song, Saving All My Love for You, got Houston her first Grammy for Best Female Pop Vocal. She went on to become one of the top-selling artists in pop music history, with more than 55 million records sold in the U.S. alone. Houston gave a rousing rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner at the Super Bowl in 1991. Her talent even expanded to the big screen, in movies like The Bodyguard, which featured her hit remake, I Will Always Love You. But Houston's professional successes were tempered by personal turmoil, like her tumultuous marriage to singer Bobby Brown. The pair divorced in 2007 and share a daughter, Bobby Christina. Houston also had an ongoing battle with drugs. She admitted to abusing cocaine and pills. Her voice showed the trouble, turning raspy and low.
She's lost a quality to her voice. She hasn't lost her artistic instinct.
Houston went to rehab and declared herself drug-free in 2010, but there were missed concert dates and public meltdowns. Houston's death came on the eve of the biggest night in music, the Grammy Awards. And Grammy organizers and top performers have spent the last few days hammering out every moment of the show, but as you might imagine, that rundown is now changing. We've just learned that Jennifer Hudson will perform a special tribute to Whitney Houston, the woman who gave the world of music so much.
And Bigat, just one quick question for you. The only thing I've heard today was that there's no signs of drugs so far as we know inside the room where she was found. Do you have any word on your side of things on the cause of death, a possible cause of death yet?
Yeah, right now that's still a mystery. We spoke to a lieutenant from the Beverly Hills Police Department. He says there were no signs of any criminal intent, but as for specifics of what was found in the room or if they have any inkling as to what may have actually killed Whitney Houston, we still don't know.
Okay, Bigat Shaban live from Beverly Hills tonight. Thank you so much for that update. And Rachel Kim continues our live team coverage tonight with more reaction to the sudden death of pop star Whitney Houston. She joins us live over the phone from the Beverly Hilton. And Rachel, I can only imagine how crowded it must be out there this evening. Do we have Rachel?
Hello, Susie.
Okay, we can hear you now, Rachel. Go ahead.
Hi there, Susie. Yeah, it's very crowded and very subdued on the red carpet. What's supposed to be a very celebratory night has turned very subdued and very somber for a lot of the recording artists who came down the red carpet. Some people actually said that it's pretty ironic that Whitney Houston died on a night, on a day where this event had actually introduced her to the public many, many years ago. So a lot of tears and a lot of tributes to Whitney Houston's day. There was a question tonight about whether this show would go on or should go on, and I guess they decided it should go on to celebrate her life and sort of a tribute to Whitney Houston and her accomplishments throughout her music career. Just an idea of the stars that came down the red carpet and talked to us: Herbie Hancock, John Voight, Tom Hanks, Jimmy Jam, David Foster, Gayle King, Sheila E., Richard Branson, of course, who is being honored tonight for his contributions to the music industry, and he is the founder of the Virgin Group. We asked him how it felt tonight to be honored on the night when Whitney Houston has passed, and he said it's pretty strange, but he said he's very glad that they decided to go on with the show so that everybody can be together to pay tribute to her as a music community and as friends. So it's a very strange mood here. There's a vigil out here in front of the Beverly Hilton Hotel where a lot of fans have gathered to remember Whitney Houston. So not only the music community themselves, but also so many people from the public all gathered here to remember Whitney Houston and her accomplishments.
Yeah, definitely a somber evening, as I can imagine, Rachel. Thank you very much. Rachel Kim live from Beverly Hills tonight, joining us over the phone. And right now we want to bring you an in-studio guest to talk about the life and career of Whitney Houston. Michelle Boris is a DJ at 97.1 AMP Radio. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us once again. You know, we hear so often about artists being compared to other artists. You know, she sounds like such and such from the past. But Whitney Houston, I really don't think that you can compare her to anyone.
I don't think anyone could sound like her. They tried. So many people have tried. You know, like Simon Cowell said, everyone wants to emulate Whitney, Mariah, you know, these legendary women. Whitney Houston could do things with her voice that no one else could do.
Let's talk about some of her influence. Just the fact that you mentioned some names just now, you know, Mariah Carey and that kind of thing. I mean, just amazing artists. And, of course, a lot of their, you know, what they say is, you know what, we owe it to Whitney.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, when you have someone set the bar that high with their talent, their voice, just the range and the passion in her voice, and just what I really loved about Whitney Houston so much is I keep saying she just had this fiery spark about her. You know, just her attitude and her swagger and she knew that she had it, that power behind her voice. And so many people try to do it, but they just couldn't quite be Whitney.
Absolutely. You know, we talk about tumultuous times for Whitney Houston with her marrying Bobby Brown, the drugs, the erratic behavior. We've been talking about that all night. Give us a little insight into what you saw in the music industry, just being there, of her kind of evolution over the years.
Well, when Whitney first started out, she was America's sweetheart. She was just delightful, you know, always positive, smiling, happy. She got wrapped up with the bad boy. And, you know, who knows if it was the bad boy plus Hollywood plus just, you know, being Whitney Houston. It just kind of ended up being too much for her. And, you know, she tried to come back from it, but she just couldn't quite overtake, you know, when you're putting things like drug addiction, family dramas, the grueling schedule that she had, and just being Whitney Houston, just being a celebrity. And I think, you know, it just caught up with her finally, and she just wasn't able to get past it. And I thought she would after she was on Oprah.
And her comeback tour.
Absolutely. She seemed like she really was getting it together, and, you know, we were rooting for her. I think everyone loved Whitney Houston. Everybody wanted her to be back. Absolutely. You know, and so it's shocking news, and it's just very sad.
It is. It is a very sad day in the music industry. Michelle, thank you very much for joining us this evening once again. Well, the music world shocked at the death of Whitney Houston, a veteran radio personality who knew her intimately, will join us up next. Stay with us.